Absolutely. There are so many question marks, Cheryl, about Omicron. There are some that are saying that it's just another variant, that we'll get past this as well. Or there are others that are saying that there is cause for worry and we're not out of the woods yet. Let's talk about this a little bit more. If you look at the pharma index, like you were pointing out, it has underperformed. And in fact, if you zoom out and you look at the last 3 months or so, you will find that it hasn't done very much. In fact, it is not too far away from the low point of the last 3 months. I'm talking about the Nifty Pharma as a pack. Let's go across to our experts then. We've got Kunal Bothra as well as Rajesh Agarwal joining in. Welcome, gentlemen, and good morning to the both of you. Rajesh, I'll start with you on the fundamentals. This sector and quite a few of these stocks looked at as defensives find favor when things are not going so well. Would you say that it is now time to look at allocating a little bit more to this sector? What stocks are looking interesting? What are the fundamentals to watch out for?
Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Cheryl. You said it right. These are defensive stocks and they tend to be in the limelight when things are not going well. But in post-corona regime, I would say pharma has been in the limelight and it has been performing well, especially if we talk of the first two waves of the pandemic. We have seen pharma stocks and IT were the major gainers. But in Q2, the numbers were not that exciting due to margins and other things. And then on a Q-on-Q basis, the numbers were not that exciting. And then we saw them underperforming. But with the resurfacing of the new COVID variant that was first reported in South Africa, we think that it's time to reverse our focus on pharma with the increased demand for healthcare, hygiene, medicines, and other things. And I think pharma stocks are going to do well, at least in the short to medium term, with vaccine makers being in the limelight like AstraZeneca, Cipla, Panacea, Pfizer. But apart from these vaccine makers, I think diagnostic chains are again going to do well, with Metropolis being good on valuation, or even healthcare. If we look at healthcare stocks, are likely to do well, with Apollo day before yesterday or yesterday. This is their news that they are trying to have some tie-up with Amazon. And but on valuation terms, if I look, Max Healthcare looks on a better ground. Stock specific, if I have to suggest any two, I would say go for Aurobindo Pharma, which have corrected quite a lot from its recent highs. And with a target of 725, one can have a position into that. And the other one would be Ipca Laboratories, where although there are near-term challenges on API and other things, but still going forward, we think that this stock can do well. One can have a look at this with a target of 2300.
All right, so that's the take coming in from Rajesh on the pharma pack. Kunal, coming to you, how are the pharma pack looking like to you? Do you think it's time now to look at defensives, especially pharma sector? If you are actually waiting on sidelines, no doubt, people started getting very jittery when actually pharma was not participating as much as it was earlier in the rally that the markets had seen. So what should investors do now? Do you think that those who were waiting patiently should now nibble into the pharma sector because they lost out on that huge rally that sector saw at least 18 months ago?
Good morning, Cheryl. Yes, I agree that many of the investors and market participants, they missed out on the first major part of the pharma rally. Then I think there was a good catch-up which was seen from many of the pharma names in the second half as well. And there were good gains which were visible. What has happened for the pharma index and pharma stocks is that these stocks have gone through a 7-month, 6-month, 9-month to 10-month kind of a price correction individually for themselves. So that's where the patience level of the investor is actually getting tested. So, every minor kind of a rally actually brings out some, positive sentiment that probably the consolidation for these pharma stocks is over. And you could see these stocks, making a comeback. But then there's one pattern which I've seen for pharma stocks and pharma index, particularly in the last, couple of weeks, is that it's not the usual large cap pharma names which are looking very strong and sturdy. You don't have stronger price performance is actually coming out relatively from the likes of, Dr. Reddy's and Sun Pharma's, the DV Slab, etc. But you have the other tier to pharma names which are looking quite chirpy in terms of price action. They're looking quite robust in terms of the price recovery, and there's been a high movement into these stocks. Something, for example, like Glenmark Pharma saw a V-shaped recovery from 450 levels. Something like Cipla as well, which has recovered quite well. So you can see the green line and the extreme right, that how sharp and swift has been the recovery for Cipla as compared to the other large cap pharma names. And same is the case with the other tier two pharma names as well. So what I'm bringing across a point is that it's not the usual pharma stocks, the large cap ones, which are leading the rally. It's predominantly the mid cap ones which are leading the rally, and which is why I believe that this is likely going to be the change of texture for pharma names. If someone has to bet on these pharma stocks from current levels, then I believe buying the mid cap names or the tier to large cap names could actually turn out to be a much better opportunity rather than chipping onto those large cap names, at least from a near term perspective.
That's the take coming in from Kunal as well as in the pharma sector. Both of our experts have given their view on what to do if you want to look at the pharma space. But on that note,